We have Asia O'Neill here from the University of Texas. She's a dominant middle blocker. Now, Asia, you've got an awesome story about two heart surgeries in the last 7 years. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically I was born with a leak in my mitral valve. So I've known about that since I was a couple months old. And then I'd always go to just, yearly cardiology appointments. But then when I was around 12, I just started playing volleyball and they noticed that the leak had gotten a lot worse. So they decided that it would be best if I just went and had the surgery. So they went and repaired it. And then everything was great. I was feeling great. And then I went to college. I went through my first year. I had some issues and I was having more symptoms and just not feeling well, like being really dizzy or just lightheaded, chest pain. Like I passed out one time. It was a lot going on. And so I started going to the doctor more frequently. And they decided that it would be best if I had another surgery because the leak had gotten like even more severe. And the repair that they did previously, the ring that they put on had gotten too small because obviously I'd grown since I was 12. So they needed to go in and just replace the ring with another one. And they actually also repaired my tricuspid valve as well, put a ring around that. So yeah, basically that's what happened.
And a lot of players, you're in the volleyball world, so we have knee injuries, we have shoulder injuries, back injuries, but you actually, this was like a heart issue. What is your mindset as you deal with that type of recovery? What were some positive things you were telling yourself?
Really, I was just trying to make sure that I wasn't like trying to expedite the process because I know just being an athlete and working out every single day, practicing every single day, like not doing anything was really, really hard for me at first, especially once I came back and all of my teammates were doing spring workouts and I just had to sit and watch. It was really, really hard for me just to not be able to do anything. But I think the biggest thing for me was just take it day by day and just know that like I had a really good support system around me and no one around me, whether it's my teammates or the coaches or the trainers, were like rushing me or felt like they always just allowed me to tell them how I was feeling and like they took it at my pace. So that was really, really nice.
And now getting ready for the 2020 season. Hopefully we have one, which I'm really hoping for.
Yeah.
What are your expectations?
I have really high expectations for myself. I'm really excited because I feel like I can definitely push myself now. I know last year I really struggled just being so like overly fatigued, like during the games and on the court. It was really hard to like break through like that last wall. So I'm really excited to see myself just be able to go like 100% now and be a really big impact on the court.
And that's got to feel good coming off of injury, really, and then heading into your next season. So what advice would you have for younger girls that look up to you? You're such a role model. What advice would you like to share with them?
I would just say that, especially for injuries and things like that, I know a big stigma in just sports is just like, oh, push through it. Like, you don't want to seem weak or anything like that. But I would just say that being comfortable, just like using your voice and speaking out if you have issues or anything or you're hurt, and just not being afraid to like say how you feel. I think that's a really big thing, especially with girls, because they're always told like, oh, be tough, like don't be a girl, like be like a boy. I think that's a really big stigma within women's sports. So I think just being comfortable speaking out and using your voice and not being afraid to let people know how you feel.
That's a great message. Having a voice is important. And I'm so glad you spoke up when you felt those issues going on. I know the number 7 is so important to you. You wear it on your chest. At 13, you had your first heart surgery. At 20, you had your second. Where do you see yourself at 27? I was like doing my finger math. Where do you see yourself at 27?
Well, my biggest goal is definitely to go play overseas. That'd be really, really fun. I'll be graduating when I'm 23. I want to be playing overseas and doing that. And then post volleyball, I know I want to work at Nike. I've thought about working at like their headquarters in Oregon and just working with their marketing or their design. I think that's really, really interesting. But I definitely want to stay in the sports realm.
Well, I can see you being successful whatever you do, professional career, and go get them now at Texas's upcoming season. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much.